G'day, I'm Fletch for the Shannons Club, and today I would like to talk briefly about possibly Australia's first muscle car, the Mini Cooper S. In fact, the Mini set a benchmark of economy cars for the future. And the proof? Well, almost 5.5 million were made worldwide through to the end of production in October of the year 2000. Often referred to as the brick, it's easy to see why. No mortar required to keep this car in place. Its low centre of gravity, teamed with reasonable sized tyres and its own weight, made these cars go around corners like they were on rails. But first, a little look back on the year of 1967. The average income per year was just a little over $7,000. Average monthly rent was $125. If you were lucky enough, a house and land package in the burbs was around 18 grand. Petrol was 33 cents a gallon, and the average cost of a new car was under 3 grand. A packet of ciggies was 30 cents. The movies cost you around $1.20 to get in, and the release of a McDonald's Big Mac in 1967 set you back 45 cents. And as opposed to the hamburger with the lot, the ratio of mix here is power to weight. And in this configuration of around 100 horsepower, the 1275cc engine is delivering 1 horsepower for every 6.5 kilos of car. And where the Cooper S had nowhere near the power of its bigger V8 competitors, it could, however, corner sharply. And it had a set of brakes that could virtually stop it on a 10-cent piece. The Sporty Mini all came about by John Cooper, owner of the Cooper Car Company and designer and builder of Formula One and rally cars. John Cooper saw the potential of the Mini for competition. The Austin Mini Cooper and Morris Mini Cooper debuted in September of 1961. The Mini Cooper, dubbed the S, was developed and released in '63, featuring just over a 1-litre engine with a nitrided steel crankshaft. Nitriding is a heat process that provides a case-hardened surface. This strengthened bottom end allowed further tuning, and when things really started revving up, the larger servo-assisted disc brakes did a pretty good job before it may have speared off into a paddock. 4,030 Cooper S cars were manufactured up until the time they were updated in August of 1964. This particular car here is a 1967 Series 1 with 19,000 being sold. The body style concept first came about designed for the district nurse. Why, you might be thinking? Well, I guess it makes sense. Small car, getting around the tight streets of London, and of course it's very economical to run as well. To give you a term of dimension, the distance from the lowest part of the windscreen to the top of the grille is just 75 centimetres. The space-saving transverse engine front-wheel drive layout allowed 80% of the area of the car's floor pan to be used for passengers and luggage. The car was designed based on a dimension of 10 feet by 4 by 4. And when we look out the back, there's virtually no back at all in terms of a protruding boot. And these cars were the first to be made on a mass-produced scale, where in fact the back seat is just 45 centimetres from the rear tailgate, not unlike some of the modern cars that we know today. On these early Minis too, the rear tailgate was designed to be hinged at the bottom to assist with luggage space, and the number plates were hinged at the top so that they could hang down when the tailgate was open. Only trouble was, it was discovered that when the tailgate was down, that exhaust gases could get into the cockpit and be a little bit uncomfortable for the occupants. Once inside the Mini, well, that's when things start getting a little bit clever. One of the smallest cars on the road, yet seating position allows for adequate headroom for the average height person. And legroom out the front, well, that is more than most, being very generous. Oh, well, room in the back here, well, there's not much adult comfort going on in here. In fact, it's knees up around your chin almost. If you do want more room, I suggest that you take the Mercedes. the big blue one with a conductor. Interesting note too that Mini chose to have the A pillar and C pillar body seams exposed. Same too goes for the door hinges. The team that designed the Mini were remarkably small, just a handful of people. One of the designers' names was Jack Daniels, and I think this is the reason why the body seams and the door hinges were left on the outside and not put on the inside. And back on the inside, the driving position is quite different. You feel that close to the front of the car that you'll arrive at your destination before the grille does. A lot of Minis had sporty steering wheels fitted. Funny enough though, the stock ones were quite large, as though you were driving a bus. The simple layout made sense for the export market too, as right to left-hand drive conversions were made easy. As most British cars of the time, the seats were thin-framed, and from point A to B, they did the job. Time for the dashboard, and the Brits were good at this. They were renowned for centre instrument clusters, in this case a speedo and shelves. Yes, dashboard shelves. If the Americans didn't know what to do with something, they'd chrome it. If the English didn't know, they just threw a shelf in. Keeping the car up was the hydroelastic design suspension. Mini used this between 1964 and 1971. After time, many systems failed and were expensive to repair, so many Cooper S purists replaced them with the rubber cone system. Because that's what Minis had. Rubber cones for suspension, not steel springs like the majority of other makes. The cones, basically solid rubber, were built into the subframes. The rubber cone system gave a raw and a bumpy ride, hopefully being absorbed by the woven webbing seats. But the rigidity of the rubber cones, together with the wheels positioning at the corners of the car with almost zero body overhang, gave the Mini go-kart-like handling. In all, the Mini is a fun car, loved by millions of people around the world. Like the Volkswagen Beetle, the Mini has etched itself into the minds of many that don't even know about cars. Everyone knows a Mini when they see one. The Mini is almost like an animated drawing. They represent a past era of motoring that most of us can remember. And this, of course, comes with something that no one can ever take away from us, and that is the memories. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Have a look around and enjoy yourself here on the Shannons Club. And until next time, drive and ride safe. Thanks for watching.